Right, many thanks for joining us right here on Look Up Weekend. Today being the 28th day of April 2024. My name is John Mathare and our sign language interpreter tonight is Angel Lois. We have a lot for you, including an update on the raging flood. Several passengers are feared dead after a boat they were traveling in capsized at Konapunda area that is within Madogo in Tana River County. According to a witness, the boat had more than 40 passengers and on board was on its way to Garissa from Madogo town, where it had picked up passengers. That and much more will be coming to you, but first, the top stories.
On Look Up Weekend tonight, thousands continue to count losses as heavy rains continue to cause havoc across the country. Also tonight, the government donates food and essential items to flood victims amid calls for caution.
Nyinyi nyote mnajua Sakaja ni kijana yangu. Na nitajaribu sana kujirestrain. I will try kujirestrain.
Apewe nafasi yake ya kufanya kazi.
And a section of leaders come to Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja's defense, calling on him to be given enough time to deliver.
Welcome back and thank you so much. Thank you for staying with us. The wide-ranging floods continue to wreak havoc with the Kijabe Bridge that connects the Kijabe town to Mai Mahiu Highway swept away. The situation has rendered the road impassable with fallen logs blocking major roads. Maureen Bosire paints a picture of the current situation across various parts of the country following more heavy rains witnessed on Saturday evening.
Heavy flooding continuing to be witnessed in the country. Residents of Kijabe town have been affected heavily following the collapse of the Kijabe Bridge due to the heavy downpour experienced across the country Saturday night. The bridge is crucial as it connects the town to the Mai Mahiu Highway, with the residents calling on the government to intervene.
Maji imetokea huko milimani, imeingia manyumba zetu. Maji imekuja na full force, imekuja na miti, imebeba mawe.
Imechafua barabara kabisa na ndio inasaidia kwa Kijabe Hospital sababu imeunganisha the main road to Kijabe Hospital. Kwa hivyo tuomba msaada.
Ikatoka maji nyingi sana. Sasa imedisplace hao watu wote wa Kijabe Old Town.
Elsewhere in Machakos County, 4 people have died after a vehicle they were traveling in was swept by floods in Manyanzani River in Yaita sub-county. Following the incident, 3 bodies have been retrieved with the search for the remaining body ongoing.
Tulianza asubuhi saa 12 ili tutafute huyu kijana. Kijana nafikiri aliponyuka kutoka kwa gari akiwa peke yake. Wale wengine walikufia pale, lakini wakatolewa kwa gari. Lakini huyu ndiye alipelekwa peke yake. Nguo zake tumepata, viatu vimepatikana, kitambulisho imepatikana na still hatumuoni. So atuachi hapo, still tunaendelea na kumtafuta. Ile usaidizi tumepata ni kutoka kwa Red Cross.
Transport along Wakungu Pesi na Nyuk Road has been paralyzed, rendering the road impassable due to flooding, forcing residents and other road users to take longer alternative routes. Residents are now calling on both the national and the county government to allocate funds to mitigate the environmental destruction caused by the heavy rains.
Tumekuwa na changamoto kubwa sana kutoka wakati ambapo mvua imenyesha na hata kabla mvua haijanyesha. Barabara yenyewe ilikuwa imechimbuka, sasa kutembea ikawa ni shida. Sasa wakati mvua imenyesha, sasa kumekuwa na shida maradufu.
Maji Jumapili ilikuwa kwa wingi sana, hata ikabeba watu wa bodaboda wakapelekwa mule chini. Sisi ndio tulikuwa tunawaokoa. Kwa hivyo sasa tunaomba serikali iangalie na macho yote mbili, kutoka Mheshimiwa RUTO na Bwana Badilisha waangalie hii barabara.
Maureen Bosire, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Many thanks, Maureen Bosire. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua today led a food distribution drive to those affected by floods in informal settlements of Mathare, Nairobi County. Gachagua called on Kenyans to exercise caution and restrain from endangering their lives through the crossing of flooded areas. The second-in-command assured those affected by the government, affected, will get the government support. This comes as the Transport Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen calling on the implored users to be cautious as schools reopen from tomorrow. In a statement to newsrooms, Murkomen reiterated the role of parents, drivers and teachers in ensuring the safety of students during this rainy season.
Should not dare nature because they will be the losers. We have seen where Kenyan can see there is obvious danger, and by being adventurous and irresponsible to a great extent, they proceed to compete and dare nature, and we have lost lives. I want to ask the people of Kenya to take responsibility of their own lives and their own safety. Kwenda kwa shule, tumetoa pesa kwa watu ya NYS kusaidia, tumetoa kwa watu ya interior kusaidia, tumepanga 1 billion shillings ya kununua chakula zaidi ya watu ya ASAL. Tutaendelea kusaidiana na watu ya public health ndio waweze kununua madawa ya kuzuia magonjwa kama ile ya cholera na ile ya malaria, na tutaendelea kusaidiana. Na kwa hivyo ningetaka kuhakikishia Wakenya ya kwamba serikali iko macho, iko imara, tunashikiliana na washikadau, na we are doing everything possible to make sure that we don't lose more lives, we don't have more property destroyed.
Now, just a day after Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua expressed his keen interest in Nairobi's county development, Francis Atwoli, the Secretary General of the Central Organization of Trade Unions, has called on political leaders to unite and simultaneously support Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja against political criticism. Speaking during the Labor Day Thanksgiving prayers at St. Stephen's SCK Church on Jogoo Road, Atwoli urged leaders to grant Governor Sakaja the space and opportunity to fulfill his duties in serving the people of Nairobi.
Nyinyi nyote mnajua Sakaja ni kijana yangu kabisa kabisa, na when I said siku ya Labor Day ya kwamba mnipatie huyo kijana kama senator, you did it. He's my boy. When the father retired, he left him behind. He left him under our care. Wakati mtu anaposimama kwa television akichapa huyo kijana, mtu wa kwanza kusikia uchungu ni baba yake. Na nitajaribu sana kujirestrain. I will try kujirestrain. Lakini mtu amwambie the father is not happy.
Na mfanyikazi namba 1 katika Nairobi ni governor wa Nairobi. Na hii ningelitaka Bwana Secretary General usikie na utusaidie. Wewe ulinisaidia nikawa mayor wa Nairobi. Sakaja alichaguliwa kama governor wa Nairobi mchana, na akatangazwa mchana, na akaapishwa mchana. Apewe nafasi yake ya kufanya kazi. Yeye hakuzaliwa, haku-apply kuzaliwa kabila fulani ndiye akuwe governor. Yeye amechaguliwa, apewe heshima zake. Hii ofisi kufanya kazi ni ngumu, wale hawajui. Mimi nimehudumu hapo, haulali, hauwezi hata ota. Mambo ni makubwa. Kwa hivyo ningeomba Bwana Atwoli na viongozi wetu wa azimio kwa hapa, waziri kwa hapa, Sakaja apewe nafasi yake. Ni mwaka mmoja tu na nusu, hata ijafika, wameanza kumsukuma. Leo hii hatafanya kazi. Wangoje 2027 wampe nafasi yake, haudumu kama gavana, na sisi tumsupport kama wana Nairobi, tuone mabadiliko yale yako. Hata nasikia wengine akisema yeye ndiye ameleta hii mafuriko. Mafuriko sio yeye, mafuriko ni ya kitaifa na ni jangwa ambao lazima sisi wote tuishikilie. Kwa hivyo nakuomba Mzee Atwoli kama katibu mkuu, na huyu ni mfanyikazi wako namba 1 Nairobi, muombe nafasi, apoe nafasi yake, afanye kazi.
There is a need to have independent institutions to be the oversight to promote transparency. Speaking during a consultative forum between the Executive and the Constitution Commission and independent offices, Naivasha and Nakuru County, the DP said oversight is important for any government to perform and deliver to citizens. And as Brian Amoy now reports, the second in command now says collaboration between the independent offices is key for the nations to progress.
What I think, Excellency, On behalf of the CCIOs, we appreciate
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has asked constitutional commissions, independent offices and other state agencies to use alternative conflict resolution mechanisms in solving matters as opposed to courts. Speaking when he officially opened the Executive and CCIO's Consultative Forum in Naivasha, the Deputy President said Kenyans suffer when matters are prosecuted in court and the media.
Our administration has adopted continuous engagement as the modus operandi of our governance. And the President and I believe that continuous engagement is good for any institution and is good for this country. When we found instances where independent offices and constitutional commissions are in conflict and they start an all-out war in the press, we confuse the people of Kenya and they get lost. Let us use this framework. Where there are issues, please let our office know so that we call you and we listen and we try to create.
The Deputy President said the court proceedings are unfair process to Kenyans now that the country is focusing resources on development. He said a lot of resources will be saved to increase the financial and technical capacity of state agencies to implement projects and programs for realization of the Kenya Kwanza plan.
And in many cases, we have taken each other to court. And the folly of it all is that when one of government takes another arm of government to court, both lawyers are paid by the public, the same public that we serve. We are here talking about limited resources. We are here talking about a very tight fiscal space. We are here saying we don't have money for development. We don't have money to buy you vehicles. Yet, you take one arm of government to court, you pay lawyers, they engage lawyers. But the one paying both lawyers on both sides.
President William RUTO jetted into the country Saturday night, fresh from official visit to Tanzania and Zimbabwe. The head of state, who attended a church service at AIC Milimani, has been crisscrossing the continent, lobbying for the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga in his quest to succeed Musa Faki Mahamat as the next chairperson of the AUC Commission. George Kayesi tells us more.
Following his return from Zimbabwe after concluding his state visit, President William RUTO attended a Sunday service at the ARC Church in Milimani, Nairobi. President RUTO conveyed his delight at being present in the church and extended his appreciation to the church for welcoming him to participate in the service.
Whenever I do not have any schedules, it is natural that you go back to the home church. So thank you very much for welcoming me, and thank you also to the Word of God. I have listened very carefully. Whenever I come to the home church, I am truly blessed.
The head of state was on a two-day state visit to Bulawayo, Zimbabwe, where he was the chief guest at the International Trade Fair. In the race for the AUC chairmanship position, Kenya remains proactive in seeking allies to endorse its favored candidate Raila Odinga. Zimbabwe, the latest nation to commit its support to Kenya's candidate, reinforcing the growing momentum behind Odinga's bid.
Kenya is seeking Zimbabwe's support, having presented its candidate for the AU Commission chair for 2025-2028 after the Africa Union Executive Council on the 15th of March this year unanimously adopted the decision that Eastern Africa region submit candidates for the AU chairperson.
Additionally, President RUTO reaffirmed Kenya's solidarity with Zimbabwe, advocating for its admission to the Commonwealth and calling for the removal of legal sanctions against the country.
Our two countries have a deep understanding which underpins our mutual support over the years in diverse areas. Based on this, I wish to declare yet again Kenya's unreserved support for Zimbabwe's readmission to the Commonwealth. I also want to state, without fear of any contradiction and for the avoidance of any doubt, Kenya's support for Africa Union's call for the immediate lifting of the illegal sanctions against the Republic of Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwean president expressed his appreciation for Kenya's stance and commended RUTO for his strong condemnation of the sanctions imposed on Zimbabwe. During the bilateral talks, Kenya and Zimbabwe solidified the commitment to strengthening cooperation by signing a memorandum of understanding across multiple sectors. George Kayesi, Lookuptv.
And now that story by George Kayesi takes us on a short break right on Lookup Weekend. Stay with us. We'll be coming back with more news for you.
Open University of Kenya, which was chartered on the 3rd of August 2023, aims to revolutionize higher education by breaking down barriers such as cost, previous exam grades, and geographical location through online open learning at the comfort of your home, job, etc., thus ensuring accessibility to education for all members of the society. In a nutshell, Open University of Kenya leverages technology to deliver education.
Open University has brought a new dawn in the Kenya education system, where learners are able to access education in a flexible, affordable, and all-inclusive.
Intakes ongoing for May and September. For more information, call us on 0202000211 or 0202000212 or email us at info@ouk.ac.ke. Open University of Kenya, an innovative university for inclusive prosperity. Come, let us show you place spot to build your dream home in Baraka Garden, situated just 5.4 kilometers from Blue Post Junction along the Thika Gatura Road. Place finest with secure gated community, Margina Steamer Eco on-site, Usitans na stories za title deeds ziko ready. Plus, flexible payment plans and financing options. Pay 30% and clear the rest in installments. Get in touch, 20 site visit. For more information, contact 0794 333 222 or 0722 668 700 or visit our website www.mahasibuhousing.co.ke. Experience the beauty of Baraka Gardens today.
Kwa majina naitwa Nora Kemto Angasa. Nimekuwa nikicheza tatu watatu, wanga nikicheza nikiweka 10 pop na kuranga ngiri 3, nikiweka 20 na kuranga ngiri 6. Sunday nilisinda rife, nikawini incubator ya mayai. Nilifurahia sana kupokea hiyo ushindi wa Sunday. Nitaenda nifuge kuku, nianze kufuga kuku na nitaendelea kucheza zaidi ili nikuje kusinda pesa mingi. Naambia watu wa Ruaka muendelee kucheza hii mchezo, ni ya ukweli. Hata siku moja unaweza sinda kama mimi vile nimesinda.
Over 18s only. Gaming can be addictive. Play responsibly. BCLB number 000898.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. The Bungoma County Police Commander Francis Koholi has called on parents not to hide their children living with disabilities. Koholi noted what concerns the rising cases of children with disabilities being denied their right to education, as most parents to lock them inside their houses, allaying fears of stigmatization.
It is during an exercise of donating equipment to the disabled that Bungoma Police Commander Francis Koholi decried the stigmatization that the disabled face in their day-to-day lives. According to the police boss, the disabled, despite being intelligent, lack opportunities.
Sisi ndio macho ya hawa ndugu zetu ambao wako vijijini. Ukiona kisa kama hii, kuna ndugu wetu mmoja ambaye ana pungufu mwilini, itabidi sisi tukuje kama jamii pamoja tushughulikie hii ili waweze kuishi kama wewe.
Maurice Sirengo, one of the beneficiaries of the equipment, has said that before receiving the white stick that he experienced a lot of problems, especially colliding with people when he was walking in the public.
Mepewa a walking stick, white walking stick. Naona hii inaenda kunisaidia kwa sababu mara mingi ninapotembea, especially kwa public, kwa watu wengi wanakukonga tu pasipo kujua kwamba wewe una shida.
The president of the Rotary organization, Godfrey Wamarwa, has noted that the IEMASA Foundation is to show cooperation and ensure that the disabled receive aid, calling on parents to ensure their children gets access to education.
Nyingi zinaweza kuwaficha. Sasa labda tu ni kuomba kama rais kwa kupitia kwa hii shughuli ambayo tunafanya leo kwamba mzazi yote mahali alipo, baba yote mahali alipo, ama labda unakaa na mtoto ambaye kidogo ni mlemavu ama ako na upungufu katika mwili wake, usiweze kuficha mtoto. Yule mtoto mlete mbele, mpeleke shule ili aweze kusaidiwa na jamii. So tutazidi kushirikiana na mashirika mengine ili kuweza kuangalia hao ndugu na dada zetu mahali walipo.
Ramchandani, who is the founder of the Rani Ramchandani, asked parents to showcase their disabled by registering them to receive equipments, adding that it is their responsibility as an organization to provide them with help.
We request people outside that you register your kids with National Council so they get the advantages of PWDs, and you don't hide them. People like us, we are ready to support them.
Daniel Omayo, Lookuptv.
A section of legislators sitting in the Agriculture and Livestock Committee led by Nyando Member of Parliament Jared Okello have called on the government to come out clean on the fake fertilizer probe. Speaking after paying a visit to Kisumu and Homa Bay counties, the MPs noted that the affected farmers must be compensated by the government. Majid Hussein with more.
As the mystery on fake fertilizer unfolds, the National Assembly Agricultural and Livestock Committee made a visit to Homa Bay and Kisumu counties to find out if the fake fertilizer made its way in the NCPB depots. Addressing the plight of farmers, the committee led by Nyando MP Jared Okello says the farmers are already counting losses and the government should be ready to compensate them and those who will be found guilty of supplying fake fertilizer to face hefty punishments.
I've already talked to the Kenya Bureau of Standards and we have their side of the story. We also spoke with the KEFIs. These are bodies that are charged with the quality of our products, and we now have a clearer definition of what was involved and what we need to do.
Elsewhere, over 15,000 epileptic patients from Kilifi County have received relief after new epilepsy clinic was opened at Malindi Hospital. The epilepsy clinic, funded by Shandaria Foundation through the Kenya Association for the Welfare of People with Epilepsy (KAWE), will reduce the cost of travel for patients suffering from the conditions and increase awareness to end the stigma that has led to many people suffer a lot, as some community members associate it with witchcraft.
Nikiwa na furaha kubwa sana kwa sababu ndani ya jimbo letu la Kilifi tumeweza kufungua rasmi wing ama tuseme eneo ambalo wale wagonjwa wanao wakifafa wataweza kuzingatiwa.
Finally, young professionals from Bomariba Riana in Kisii South have formed a movement geared towards propelling them to realize their dreams. The move targeted unity among members through leadership based on gender parity and regional balance. Speaking during movement's launch, the chairman Evans Obocha clarified from the onset that it was a political land that the members were keen on supporting the positive impact the leadership will bring to the table.
It is time. It is the period that you should respect the young generation with smart and of course young brains. Youth with careers, they ought to be respected, they ought to be given position so that they can show and blossom their society.
Majid Hussein, Lookuptv.
Now to some sporting action. The Kenya under-20 rugby team Chipo has won the 2024 Baids Cup tournament after thrashing the host Zimbabwe 28 points to 13 in the final held at Harare. The Simon Gichware-led side has qualified for the World Rugby Under-20 slated for 17th of July this year in Scotland. Right now, we take another break right here in Lookup Weekend, and of course, stick around. We'll be coming back with a discussion in the Weekend Focus all about the floods that have marooned several parts of the country. Stick around and keep your questions coming. We'll be sampling as we continue with the live broadcast. My name is John Mathare. Stick around.
If you want to have a proper outlook of the economy, then you have to speak to the